1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Welcome to Landon Stadium, round 27 in the NPL New South Wales men's competition. Beautiful, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Landon Stadium the players and officials from your Blacktown City and City League for this round 27 clash of the NPL New South Wales men's.
Happy Sunday afternoon, everybody. A very warm welcome to Landon Stadium for a round 27 battle between two of the most storied clubs in the NPL New South Wales. Blacktown City hosting Sydney Olympic as we enter the final month of the regular season. Alex Molchanoff, delighted to be joining you again on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Let's take you straight to the team news. Blacktown backing up from that Wednesday night's Australia Cup tie where they fell 3-2 in extra time against the A-League men's side, Adelaide United. They make just a single change, from that side that took the field on Wednesday. In goal again, number 1, Tristan Prendergast. Number 12, TJ Burney starting at right back. Number 24, Jackson Bandiera, who was cup-tied and ineligible to play in that game, starts on the left. A centre-half pairing, we're expecting number 5, Grant Lynch, his 31st birthday today, partnering number 18, Nick O'Brien. Ahead of them, number 14, Mitch Malia, and number 11, Danny Choi, superb on Wednesday. Starts on the flanks, through the middle, number 22, Jacob Maniti, alongside Travis Major, and number 17, Marty Fernandez, starting up front again, alongside Joey Gibbs. For Olympic, why change a winning side? That's the attitude for Labano Haliti, coming off 2 big wins in the last 2 weeks. Last week away at Christie Park against Spirit FC, where Roy O'Donovan scored a double. He captains the side at the point of attack again today. Behind him, number 20, Chris Parsons starts in goal. The same back 4, number 15, Will Much. Number 5, Ziggy Gordon. Number 4, the returning Michael Glassick. Number 12, Zach Zoricic. Midfield 3, number 8, Sam Mickle-Hatton. Number 6, Jack Simmons, and number 29, George Antonis, flanking O'Donovan, and number 11, Adam Parkhouse off the left, and number 9, Ollie Pufflet on the right. So, all in readiness, 3 games across the NPL New South Wales men's this afternoon to bring an end to round 27. It's been a high-scoring weekend so far. And if history is anything to judge between these two, we can expect more of the same. A 3-3 draw earlier in the season, a 5-1 win here for Blacktown in the corresponding fixture a season ago. Fasten your seatbelts because there could be action in this one. We're expecting it, we're hoping for it as neutrals. And once again, a very warm welcome to our broadcast. We're enjoying the position. We've got the scaffolding up from that cup tie during the week, which we've been able to utilise again today. The gorgeous shot of the stand at Landon Stadium. A beautiful backdrop for this game today. So it is Major who pushes into midfield, not Nick O'Brien. Started almost every position except goalkeeper this year, the Blacktown all-time leading scorer. Moving further and further back as he gets older. He still managed to get on the score sheet. Got a very important equaliser for Blacktown on Wednesday night against Adelaide. Sent his place with more than 1,500 in attendance into raptures. And this is an opposition he's enjoyed playing against, Travis Major. 3 goals in his last 3 games against them. TJ Burney was so impressive on Wednesday night as well. It really was a spirited performance from Mark Crittenden's man. Be interesting to see whether their fatigue has entered their legs. One of the older, more experienced sides in the competition. Nick O'Brien is very much the junior member of that defensive line alongside TJ Burney on the right, but certainly one of its leaders in terms of his ball-playing ability and the way he reads the game. Came into the side as fullback, then moved into the centre of midfield, and Mark Crittenden is not afraid to utilise players in different positions. And has been forced to at times this season because of the injuries. Still missing both the Berries at the moment, as well as their leading scorer this season, Jack O'Brien. Joey Gibbs has had to take on the majority of the goal-scoring responsibility, as well as this man, Mitchell Marley, who'll be looking to get on that left foot all day. This is a swinging cross, headed away by Much. Fernandez happy to poke it back. Another who impressed on Wednesday night. Jacob Maniti, probably his finest performance in a Blacktown City shirt to this point in his career. Danny Choi's down the left. There were flashes of the old Choi on Wednesday. That ball was very much in that sort of vein. And Sydney Olympic are going to be aware. They've been in such terrific form over the last month or so, have suddenly put themselves back in the contention for finals. Starting the afternoon, just 4 points outside the top 6 after a slow start to the year. Cup exit at the hands of Spirit. They avenged that last weekend. It's been an interesting little combination that's growing between Marty Fernandez and Joey Gibbs. Gibbs the workman, Fernandez the tricks and flicks. Major winning the ball in the air. It's a short little midfield duo, Jack Simmons and Sam Mickle-Hatton, but they're terrific terriers around the football. Not been able to stop this attack developing, and Fernandez with a rather meek effort in the end, just poking his left foot at it. Blacktown, as they've managed to do over the last month or so, 3 wins in the last 4, unbeaten in the league in the last month. Coming into this one, starting quickly, something they made a habit of. It's a very healthy habit as we approach the business end of the competition. Fernandez, after giving away that goal kick, if you want to put it that way, won the ball back in midfield and then turned it over again. Zoricic, his first season with Olympic after spending a couple of seasons with the Central Coast Mariners Academy. It's part of the team that made a League One grand final. He's to nail down that left fullback position very much as his own this season. They're going to be very aware of Roy O'Donovan. He and Urashevsky have had a duopoly on the Golden Boot over the past couple of seasons, switching first and second in 2023 after O'Donovan won that award in 2022, as well as the gold medal for the best player in the competition at 36 years of age, still now 38, but his goal tally this year is impressive again. 18 in the league across his 25 appearances, 26th of the league season today, and it's just one fixture. Urashevsky's run away with it this season. Might well have hit 30 by the time we finish here at 5 o'clock. Game getting underway down in Wollongong. Rockdale have taken an early lead. I can update you on that. Another game that's running concurrently today. Sydney United 58-0 and Sydney FC 0. That game out at Adenza Park. A little further south of here. Simmons feeding in behind, and O'Donovan's still such a willing runner for those balls in behind. What can he provide with a cross? It was behind the on-rushing Pufflet, and Major's able to get back and tidy up. Choi and Maniti and Fernandez, who will be closely guarded by Michael Glassick all afternoon. What a terrific signing he's been for Wabana Haliti, looking to shore up that defence. George Timotheu has made way. Switch down to League One. After an up and down little period with Sydney Olympic, to say I think Glassick's brought a measure of consistency that wasn't always present with Timotheu. After his return from Malaysia, a terrific season in the Super League there. So it's Sri Pahang going all the way up to 5th on the league table. Fine achievement. Pufflet did well, but Antonis was always offside. Another one of the former A-League Academy players snapped up by Olympic at the start of the year. Those that hadn't made their way to Apia Leichhardt, they did seem to pick up a good chunk of them. Ben Gibson and it's the most notable of those. leading them in scoring this year. Danny Choi is just spraying balls all over the field at the moment. Olympic are struggling to come to grips with him. Burnley getting forward in support of Malia, who's on the football. Facing up Glassick, who did well defensively, but concedes the corner. Olympic have just not been able to get their foot on the ball often enough and maintain possession. Not a team that focuses on that too much. They like to go forward fairly quickly. We've seen O'Donovan getting off the shoulder of Nick O'Brien a couple of times already. Not into goal-scoring positions as of yet, but that could all change. Blacktown would love an early goal just to give them a measure of comfort in the opening stages of this one. Marley is the left footer, so it'll be swinging in towards Chris Parsons, and Nick O'Brien able to catch it on the volley, deflects off Gibbs, and somehow finds its way wide. He was onside as well. Glassick almost back on the goal line, and Joey Gibbs, well, there wasn't really much he could do. The ball came to him at such an awkward height and at such pace that he just couldn't adjust his body to make sure that the ball ended up inside Parsons' net rather than wide of it. Nervy start for the visitors. Coming to this game in such good form, as I mentioned in the pre-match. Again, Nickel Hatton just not able to get on a ball played long. Malia's driving towards goal again. He's had a fabulous start, Mitch Malia. That one's flashing across the face of goal. Never really worried Parsons. Olympic have got a pretty good away record so far this season. It's been their home form that's been so topsy-turvy, but say the same of their form on the road at times, but already picked up big scalps against the Wolves, against Marconi, against Sydney United away from home this season. Win here with the correct result from their point of view at Adenza Park could have them within a point of the top six. They've got to start getting forward a bit more consistently. Managed to do that through Zoricic and now Parkhouse. Bernie blocks the initial cross. His opposite number picks it up. Nickel Hatton and Simmons. This is where these two love to operate. And Simmons looking for the dinks ball over the top. O'Donovan appreciates the effort, but the execution didn't quite match the idea. Bandiera. For Gibbs and Choi. First time we've seen Jackson Bandiera able to get forward in this game, and he's managed to win his team the throw. Another good pickup for Mark Crittenden in the registration window. Left at the conclusion of the 2022 season where he was a grand final winner. Down to Mount Druitt Rangers, and then bouncing to Sydney Olympic, taking on the club he represented for the first half of this 2024 season. Game with a bit of extra meaning for him. Gibbs flicking it away from much and volleying it across goal. Headed clear by Zoricic, helped further by Parkhouse. And O'Donovan, deft as ever. And Pufflet loves to get into these open spaces. He's got the legs to beat Major, but his presence was enough to force a ball that maybe came to him a bit earlier than he would have liked. Good pressing from Antonis, putting pressure on the birthday boy, Grant Lynch. That's less than a happy intervention there. Bernie bails him out somewhat, and the little clip on the heel was picked up right under the nose of the referee, Craig Fisher. The most experienced officials in New South Wales football. Assisted today by Cameron Wright on the broadcast side of the pitch, Haranath Gobenath on the far side. Ethan Zvargulis, our fourth official. Alex Mortonoff here with you on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. 12 minutes gone in this one. Still yet to see a meaningful chance. Joey Gibbs getting his body in the way and forcing a deflection that just trickled wide of Chris Parsons' net. Blacktown have established a solid foothold for themselves in the game. They're just looking for something on the scoreboard to match their quick start. Lynch. Major, who's drifting from left to right. Coming deep to get the ball. Getting himself up the pitch when he senses a goal-scoring opportunity. Mitch Marley has been so lively in the early stages, as has Fernandez. Major trying to switch the direction of the attack. Simmons and Antonis, joint effort, managed to smother that. I suppose to mention the situation for Sydney Olympic this afternoon. Blacktown would have to have something go horribly wrong for them to miss the finals. Now a 5-point buffer from St George City in 7th place coming into the afternoon. It's the one remaining home fixture after this one though for them. Over the top, and Bernie's beaten Zoricic to it. Just a bit too much meat on the cross. Well over the head of Joey Gibbs, who's getting a bit of a frustrated figure in the early stages, and Bandiera bundling Simmons to the turf. Shares a smile with Craig Fisher as he retreats to his position. Not exactly the start that Labrador Elite would have envisioned, but so similar of their performance last weekend against Spirit. It all came good then. More than enough quality in this side, as was noted by plenty of commentators over the early stages of the season, for this team to be well and truly in the hunt for the top 6. They've made that a reality with their form over the last month or so. Zoricic's ball is swept clear by Lynch with his less favoured right foot. Parkhouse keeps the attack alive. And Toner showing a cool head. Still only 21, George Antonis, brother of long-time A-League men's player Terry, of course. Plays with almost a footballing wisdom beyond his years, George Antonis. He's way to goal when the situation requires as well. Pufflet. Well, it's his athleticism that's been his biggest asset. It's a good effort to win that ball in the air. Olympic for the first time this afternoon, just putting together a sustained spell of possession and posing some questions to the Blacktown City defence. Classic helping out with that, pushing through from midfield. Wide from Michael Hatton to Adam Parkhouse. He's only one thing he wants to do, get that ball on his left foot and swing in something dangerous. Not able to do it this time. Gordon, who's been back to his best form, really, since the return from injury earlier in the year. Sluggish start to the season that really captured the state of Sydney Olympic. It's no longer been the case, with the exception of that thumping win over Sydney United 58 at Belmore early in the year. Complete performances were few and far between. Still a measure of improvement left in this side, but certainly peaking at the right time of the season. Just hoping that they haven't left their run too late. O'Donovan, back for Zoricic. So that Mitch Marley has been present down that far side of the pitch early for Blacktown. You can say the same of Zach Zoricic getting forward. Glassick and Gibbs resuming their little battle. Glassick is an attacking throw for his side. Lovely touch from O'Donovan. He was an inch away from finding Antonis right in stride as well. Renegas trying to play out through Bandiera, and a little battle that would have been Been renewed a few times across the course of the training season between Ollie Pufflet and Jackson Bandiera. Features on the main stage. Appeals for handball. That just flicks up. You get some funny bounces here at Landon Stadium. It's not the newest of synthetic pitches. Danny Choi clever enough to win his side's a pressure-relieving free kick. So Blacktown absorbing really the first period of sustained pressure that Olympic have been able to put together. It's been a watchful opening from both sides. Richie started at left back and was called upon to have a big night with the running of Adelaide United. A little bit less kilometres to get through this afternoon, partnering Nick O'Brien than the centre of defence rather. Update from Wollongong because the Wolves have got an equaliser there. Soka Taoka getting the first for Rockdale before Charles Mendy's equaliser. Sorry, that's Chris McStay. Page just flashing in front of me. So 1-1 down at Rockdale. No goals at Adenza Park to this point. This game was a slight delay to kick off. Blacktown taking their time to come out of the dressing rooms. Jack Simmons, who's really put together his first sustained run in the Sydney Olympic first team. He's had some battles with injury since moving up from Victoria at the start of last season from Dandenong. He's actually a Newcastle junior. He's slightly closer to home. Maniti. That switch just getting a bit too much on it. Misjudged. Something you say about Jacob Maniti too often with his ball playing. Sam McCall-Hatton's going to try something similar out to this near side for Olympic, and Much took it in his stride. Facing up to Jackson Bandiera, but couldn't turn past him. With a dangerous pass, but Blacktown play out of Olympic's press beautifully, and now they've got a real attacking opportunity. This would be a beautiful goal if they can finish it off. Danny Choi down the left. Classic across in cover. And it's a dangerous ball again, but Blacktown not able to capitalise. Gorgeous flowing move that started from their own penalty area. And Mitch Malia was not too far away from giving the hosts the lead. When anyone asks why Travis Major is deployed in all these different positions, it's because he's got such good game awareness like that. Gorgeous touch to release Choi down the left under pressure at the edge of his own penalty area. Ian Fernandez linking up beautifully. And the Korean-born winger was away down the left. Aesthetically pleasing for us, but not the bringer of hard results just yet. Blacktown's football this afternoon. Classic playing destroy admirably. Major mishits that one and offers hand of apology to his old mate Danny Choi. So Olympic just trying to restore some calm. In that game here last year that finished by 5 goals to 1. Blacktown able to take the 3 points that day. Started in a similar vein, but his goal has been slow in coming today. I say that, feels like we've played half an hour. just over a quarter of the way into this first half. Just shy of a quarter of the way into the first half, I should say. Lynch, looking for something advanced, finds it in Fernandez. Poking and prodding at the Olympic defense. Very energetic so far, Lebanon Elite's side. Parkhouse darting away from players. He's been around this competition for more than a decade now. Adam Parkhouse, he started at Manly United, of course. He was a championship winner back in 2017. Back of that terrific season, got a move to the A-League with the Wellington Phoenix, and now a long-time Sydney Olympic player as well. And here he is looking for this ball. TJ Burney, one of the quickest players in the competition, though. Instead of shut him down, and he did more than that. Managed to win inside the goal kick as well. 21-year-old Burney. It's a cool sports high product. Not too far from here. Molly Tauta Jr. is part of New South Wales schoolboys side there. First year out of high school, he used to break into the first team under Mark Crittenden as a 19-year-old. Similar story for Nick O'Brien, really. A couple of years older, but on his way into the side in that title-winning season of 2022. Barely been out of it since. Gordon did beautifully. Now Pufflet with space in which to operate. Haven't seen too much of Ollie Pufflet so far this afternoon. Keeps a cool head and finds Mickle-Hatton. Olympics midfield general making his way towards Parkhouse. Happy to go from the back again. I have to say, it's not been the open game that we perhaps were expecting between these two. Plenty on the line for Olympic, and Blacktown with legs wearied from that big battle over 120 minutes with Adelaide United during the week. Classic for Parkhouse. Zoricic underlapping, and he's got the better of Malia, at least initially. It was a good recovering challenge from the experienced winger. Receives the congratulations from the captain today, Tristan Prendergast. No, Mario Chabal started the cup tie on Wednesday, but didn't manage to make it through half an hour. Lingering injury has affected Blacktown City's club captain. Chance for Olympic to try and conjure something from the corner. Not the best ball in, although it did look somewhat by design, and the shot's there! And it was a whisker away from sneaking inside Prendergast's post. And won't that give some confidence to Sydney Olympic? Suddenly starting to put some pressure back on their hosts. Haven't exactly been welcoming. That was a poor turnover from Major. It's not too often you say that. The birthday boy, Grant Lynch, there to tidy up for his old teammate. And then Mitch Malia lending a hand as well. It's all hands on deck at the back for Blacktown at the minute. Nick O'Brien stepping into central midfield, and his pass is misplaced for Fernandez. It's just all gone awry in the last 5 minutes for Blacktown. Game they looked fairly comfortable in controlling has flipped on its head. Simmons. Pufflet, I think Will Much wanted to let that ball run. So important in the derby for Olympic against Rockdale a couple of weeks ago. Tenqual is on the bench today, getting the latest of winners. And with 94 showing on the clock. We're expecting momentum changes, but I think more in terms of goal-scoring flows. That's not been the case, but it's been an engaging watch nonetheless on this Sunday afternoon in Blacktown. Parkhouse trying to get to the byline, swung it in early. And Nick O'Brien's touch betrays him, so the ball goes behind. Another Olympic corner. They'll go to this time. The ball was to the front post where Ziggy Gordon was waiting from Sam McElhatton last time around. Big bodies forward, Pufflet, Classic, Gordon, all threats. It's actually O'Donovan who was closest to it. Might have got something on it. Nick O'Brien, I think, was the man who got the most of his head to the ball. Just popped it up in the air for Prendergast to bring down. This is where Marty Fernandez loves to operate, running at opposition defences. Skip past a couple. Gibbs. Malia. Goes to the right this time and lobs it over. Everyone in the centre, not for the first time. Major. Trying to recycle possession. Malia. Backwards pass allows Olympic just to clear their penalty area. Trying to keep a high line. It's not the Sydney Olympic of early days in the season when they really were leaking goals. Defence has really been shored up over the last month or so. Well, they've got a test here. Choice in space! Tried to go near post. And you feel if he got across Chris Parsons, it might well have been 1-0. Good save from the Olympic keeper because he caught plenty of it, Danny Choi. Not only has he kept it out, managed to hold it as well. Taken over from Noah James. It's Olympics gloveman over the past month or so. Has coincided with that improved defence. Trying to string something attacking together. It's a good ball inside from Parkhouse for Pufflet. Saw O'Donovan making that third man run, just flashing in behind. There's a couple of little frustrated voices starting to sneak in from the Blacktown crowd. It's the biggest win Olympic got over Blacktown City. It was in round 3 of the Cup last season. Just to end that. Well, run before it began, really. It's really been the measure of their success over Blacktown in the past couple of seasons. Malia. Make sure that that record stays intact for Blacktown City this afternoon. Choi, who's had the best chance of the match. Ducking inside, Bandiera timed his run beautifully, and then Gordon timed his challenge even better. Beautifully timed. The former Central Coast Mariner and Western Sydney Wanderer. Teammates of Roy O'Donovan at the Mariners, of course, for a time. Just under 15 minutes for one of these two teams to try and break the deadlock. Last 10 minutes have belonged to Olympic. Blacktown starting to turn the side again. Establish the stranglehold they had at the start of the game. Joey Gibbs with another chance that just goes wide. Blacktown City have had more than one chance to take the lead here in the first half. Not at their most clinical. A couple of big chances from set pieces as well for Joey Gibbs. Pufflet and O'Donovan just on slightly different pages. Crittenden does look to go to his bench at some stage. Ruben Awaratife, who got the second goal for Blacktown City on Wednesday, is there. Third goal of the season across all competitions. Only got one in the league so far. Proved a pretty critical one. It was an equaliser up at Cromer Park against Manly United. Tim Quoll, who got that latest of goals against Rockdale a couple of weeks ago, available for Haliti should he need him at any stage today. Haliti wanted to go quickly, but had taken it a couple of yards further forward than Craig Fisher wanted him to. The referee says we'll have that one back, thanks. Lynch. Starting to get into the period now of NPL fixtures where we tend to see the most goals just before half-time. Fernandez, good block from Gordon, falls for Major, who beat Gordon and then belted it over onto the oval behind Landon Stadium. But another chance going begging for Blacktown. Have to feel the goals coming for the hosts, but their finishing has left a little bit to be desired. Some of the football in general play has been mouth-watering. Just missing its finishing touch. Lynch hoisting it towards Fernandez, and Gordon just giving a bit too much of a shove to Marty Fernandez. Needy wants to go quickly. Eventually grabs the ball and is able to do that. Poked wide by Major for TJ Burney. Blacktown are happy to build from the back. Choi has faded out of the game in the last 10 minutes. They need him back in it, Blacktown. Pufflet, diligent in his defensive duties, played inside for Bandieros, facing up much. This ball along the ground is cut off by Michael Hatton. That's where he likes it. Mali are too strong for Zoricic. Gets it back off Major. And a sloppy touch, and Jack Simmons wasn't about to make the same mistake for Olympic. Olympic trying to insert some tempo into the match, almost as if they feel that the run and gun game with the fatigue in Blacktown's legs could favour them at some stage this afternoon. Good ball from Much for Michael Hutton, his ball less so. Searching for Parkhouse, but finding it good 5 to 10 yards ahead of him. Bernie striding forward unchecked. Little nibble from Parkhouse. Now referee Fisher says advantage played. Choi gets it back from Fernandez. Go on his right foot. Why not? Stinging drive from Danny Choi. Parsons has handled everything with relative ease so far this afternoon. If Olympic are going to concede opportunities from Danny Choi, that's probably the safest way to do it. Not that there's a surefire way to stop him. Much, who's had a really good start to this game. Wanted Antonis to chase. Lynch showing all his years of experience there. Lovely touch from Maniti, who's just found a purple patch of form recently, hasn't he? And that ball is beautifully fed for Malia. Only one idea in his head. Ducking in on the left foot and feeding Fernandez, who's offside. Puts the ball in the back of the net for the first time this afternoon. He felt it was close, but Arunath Gobinath, assisting Craig Fisher on the far side, had his flag up very quickly. Olympic surviving some scares, but surviving them is the key word. Sheet is still clean. Ball forward from Jacob Naniti. He's a player who's been part of the Philippines national team earlier in his career. Five caps at under 23 level there. Wasn't a regular starter early in the year. He has developed into one with the injuries and reshuffle. Fernandez. Gibbs not far away, but Parsons again didn't have too many troubles handling at his near post. So what's the attitude from Olympic now? They've had periods where they've been on top in this first half. I'd say Blacktown's probably edged it, certainly in terms of chances. Prendergast hasn't had a save to make to this point. Naniti using his arm to knock the ball down. Intentional, probably not, but these days it's a free kick every day of the week. Beautiful bit of play from Much. Just the results that came through yesterday. The Central Coast Mariners getting a 1-0 win in our match of the round against Sutherland Sharks. The reason that was match of the round is because of the relegation race. Which at the moment sees Sydney FC and Hills United down in the bottom two. Sydney FC would be going down automatically, although they've got that game against Sydney United in progress this afternoon. They could change all that. Hills United going down last night by 3-1 at St George City. That game is still scoreless over at Adenza Park, still 1-1, approaching half-time between the Wolves and Rockdale Illingdon. It'll be a happy sight for Marconi fans. Got a very narrow and hard-fought 1-0 win over St George FC yesterday. Spirit getting a 4-2 win over Manly United. I don't think too many saw that result coming. And Arpia Leichhardt in a goal fest against the Western Sydney Wanderers took that one out 5-3. Yet to find our first here this afternoon, but Blacktown City are pressing for it in the shadows of half-time. They've looked dangerous from these set pieces. Joey Gibbs has been inches away a couple of times. A couple of second balls that have popped up. Molly having second thoughts about the short ball. Oh, it looks as though he'll swing it in, which he does to Lynch at the near post. And Parsons couldn't take any chances. Ball looping up towards his goal. Had to tip it over the crossbar, and we'll do it all again. This one's deeper. And Zoricic did well to rise highest in the crowd and head clear. Can Olympic find their way to the break with the score still at 0-0? Seems to be the question we're asking. The final 5 minutes or so of this first half from Landon Stadium. Lynch goes long. Major was there. It's Pufflet who got the header though. That meant that Olympic were able to clear the cross. Another attacking throw. Lynch. Quite as sharp as he would have liked. Blacktown City just seems a yard off. Critical junctures. Mentioned a couple of times that football's been stunning at times. Can Malia give us something memorable? Crowd of bodies. Olympic so quick to retreat behind the ball. Major. To poke his way through, but like all classics, seen that all before. Zoricic having one of his better afternoons so far, certainly from a defensive perspective. Been able to get forwards Plenty for Labrador Haliti as well, which will please him. Gibbs, despite Blacktown City having so many of those chances and a couple of them falling to him, has not really been involved in general play. Fernandez very much lining up as the second striker, a false nine in behind him. Turned over by Simmons in midfield, and you heard Labrador Haliti's scream of panic. And now yells of encouragement as he barks at his team to try and hold out for the entirety of the first 45 minutes. Smart bit of play from McElhatton, who sensed the challenge was coming and just got his body between the Blacktown City player and the ball. A little bit of a dispiriting opening period for Blacktown City. All the pretty football and chances they've created, there's nothing to show for it yet on the scoreboard. Of course, you can flip that as well. Say it's a heartening start because they've had control of the match for the majority of the opening 45 minutes. Just a touch or two away from finding that opening goal and beating Chris Parsons, who's looked very, very solid so far this afternoon. Bandiera striding clear against the side he signed from in the registration window. Gibbs with a heavy touch. Tonus's ball through midfield required a challenge from Parkhouse, which he timed beautifully, and Pufflet is onside here. And he has no fullback defending him, so Choi had to retreat, and the ball in was lacking the punch that Olympic were looking for. Bandiera. Fernandez ducking off the shoulder, really for the first time this afternoon. Glasic with him step by step. Maniti. Back to Fernandez. Poked wide for Major. Further for Nick O'Brien. Loves an advanced ball. Bernie trying the tricks. And he's found Major. He's got the strength to hold off McElhatton. Just booted it in towards Gibbs. There was a crowd of blue bodies around him which were able to scramble it clear. Last chance saloon for Blacktown City in the first half. Gibbs. Maliu's darted infield. Choi. So many blue shirts inside the penalty area. Still they pick their way through, but this time Danny Choi is caught by their high line. They've been so disciplined in holding it in this first half Olympic. Can't expect that there'll be too much time added on at the end of this first half. Don't have the luxury of the electronic board today. Blacktown City might have it in the second half as some of the changes are made, and can discuss and pontificate about what changes might be made as both teams look to change this game. Blacktown City in control of it for the majority, but without being able to strike on the scoreboard. A dogged defensive effort from Olympic, who had their moments as well. Everything was pretty tidy in the Blacktown City half. Best chance went to Danny Choi, who fired into Chris Parsons at the near post. But a solid effort from the Sydney Olympic glovemen in the opening half under plenty of pressure. But as the teams head to the sheds at half-time from Landon Stadium, it's Blacktown City 0, Sydney Olympic 0.
Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, this is our second last home game of the season. We'll be back here for our final home game of the season, round 30, Sunday the 25th of August. 3 o'clock kickoff, taking on Hills United. Next week, round 28, all Blacktown City travels away to NWS Spirit, 5:30 kickoff. And the following week, round 29, a local derby up against Marconi Stadium, 7 o'clock kickoff at Marconi Stadium.
Welcome back to Landon Stadium, the second half of this round 27 clash about to get underway between City and Sydney Olympic. No goals in the first half. Best chance fell to Danny Choi, but clear-cut opportunities were few and far between. Two teams rather watchful with so much on the line, particularly for Olympic, who've made this late run for the finals, starting the game this afternoon, just 4 points behind sixth place Sydney United, who are still scoreless in their game at Odense Park with bottom of the league Sydney FC, as that game went to the break. So we'll keep you updated on the scores there for the Olympic fans watching on today. But our focus firmly on the match in front of us here. No changes for either coach at the break. Ball played in behind from Marty Fernandez. He's looking for Mitch Malia, who had a very good first half. He and Zach Zoricic both going into the fence as the Olympic defender shielded that one behind. Blacktown had the best opportunity that first half. Created more chances. Chris Parsons called upon to make a few simple saves. All relatively clear-cut work for the man between the sticks. Plenty of attacking weapons on both benches today. Should Mark Crittenden look to go there. Adam Berry finally making the return from his long-term injury off the bench. We expect to see him at some point this afternoon. Ruben Awaratife, fresh off a Australia Cup goal in the week against Adelaide United. Jackson Bandiera is having fun down the left against the team they moved from earlier in the season. Other options for Mark Crittenden, or the other option, is Julian Rodriguez. Caden Henderson, their reserve goalkeeper today. Rodriguez saw time off the bench against United in that cup tie. Malia, and this is better from Blacktown already. Two wingers interchanging passes. Now it's Malia on his right foot. Time for Gibbs to bring it down. Choi. And Sam McElhatton, as he so often does, diving in front of the ball right on the edge of the penalty area. And then Pufflet too strong for Jackson Bandiera, who was looking to keep the attack alive, couldn't do so. Didn't see much of George Antonis in the first half, probably because of his high position and the fact Olympic struggled really to get down their attacking ends too regularly in the first half. It's not to say they've been played off the park by Blacktown. That's far from the case. It's the hosts who've edged it. But it has been just that. No security in the good football they've played to this point. Subs for Olympic that Elite may look to go for. Darcy Burgess, Ten Qual, Yanni DePizio, Michael Vakis, all attacking weapons, as well as Leon Rippon, who's got first team appearance this season, the youngster. Glassick, not known for his ball playing ability, and just lobbing that one over the top. Lost quite a bit too much of Adam Parkhouse. McElhatton for Pufflet. This ball cut out by TJ Burney. This is where it's all falling down for Sydney Olympic. Just can't find Roy O'Donovan and Jojo Antonis often enough. Danny Choi's done a lot of work down the left. Well, much has marshalled him well to this point, and he does so again, the former Illingdon player. He's played on both sides of that big rivalry. The other game that's running concurrently was locked up 1-1 as they went to the break down in Wollongong between the Wolves and title hopefuls Rockdale Illingdon. Came into the weekend, or came into the day with a 3-point lead over Marconi. That could extend out to 6 again. They're able to take all 3 points there. Their lead is at the top of the table has just been cut week on week. And Gordon stepped in front of Danny Choi. Not enough contact for referee Craig Fisher to blow the whistle. Experienced piece of defending from the Scot. Parkhouse was very close to being offside there. Managed to find himself back in an onside position in the nick of time. Nick O'Brien trying to work out something clever, and he did exactly that. Donovan's influence has been limited, but we know he only needs a moment. Blacktown have failed in terms of taking the chances that have fallen their way so far this afternoon. And be pretty sure that O'Donovan won't turn up any chances that fall his way. And so Olympic have hope. Still have a point in their grasp at the moment, but Blacktown have come with another win in their second half. Choi cut out by Glassick. Fernandez allowed to turn in that little space. Gibbs had it nicked off his toe by Gordon, and Mikkel Hatton turned it over. Malia resumes his battle with Zoricic. Mikkel Hatton back amongst the defensive crowd that Olympic had gathered in their penalty area. Jacob Menetti's had the measure of that little battle with George Antonis. Malia and Fernandez and Glassick with his arms behind his back. It's an audacious appeal for a handball. Mark Crittenden saying he might have put them there after the ball had struck his arm. So difficult for defenders nowadays in those sort of situations. Any ball flicked up towards them like that, in danger of giving away a penalty kick, wasn't to be there. Still Blacktown City come forward with Choi. So the corner was taken short by Malia to Menetti. Still Choi jinking and weaving his way. Nick O'Brien heads it back across the face of goal, and Parsons clatters into Gordon to make sure that no Blacktown foot could get to the ball. The watchful eye of Chris Parsons has been a real asset for Olympic over the course of this first 50 minutes or so. Pofflet was taken late there by Bandiera, and now Craig Fisher was waiting to see if advantage accrued. Blows his whistle. Alex Molchanoff with you on this mild Sunday afternoon. Overcast conditions, floodlights starting to take over. So he started as a glorious day in Sydney today. Cloud comers come over and just drop the temperature a little bit, but A+ conditions for football. Blacktown are enjoying them in terms of their attacking output. This time Gordon made no secret of his desire to cut out Choi's run by fair means or foul. It was the latter, and he's the first name in the referee's notebook this afternoon for either side. First bit of paperwork for the referee. More promisingly for Blacktown, they have another attacking set piece from which to base their raid on the Olympic goal. Can they find something on the scoreboard as we tick towards the hour mark? Curling away from Parsons, and it fell for Malia. Parsons smarted his near post again. Olympics goalkeeper's been busy, but he's yet to be beaten. Pufflet, they've been trying to hit these long switches all afternoon, Olympic. That one's proved more telling than some of the previous. Simmons stepping onto it. Didn't quite catch it with all the venom he might have. Slightly off balance, but it was a fair effort in any case. Tristan Prendergast providing an arm and showing that he needed to be aware of where that ball was travelling, but always looked headed safely over his crossbar. Olympic have just been able to put little touches like that together often enough to give Blacktown a few headaches. Gibbs and Gordon come together. Nick O'Brien, such a gorgeous ball player, fires that one wide for Malia. He and Zoricic together again. Fernandez tracked by Glassick. Fernandez not tracked. Choi. Pufflet, who's been as effective in his defensive work this afternoon as anything he's done going forwards. Donovan just barging his way into Nick O'Brien, who did well to keep his composure. Choi, geez, looking back to his best, Danny Choi at the moment. Can he be the telling influence? He finds Major. Malia goes to his right, and Gibbs was there, mishit by Choi, and then an easy one for Chris Parsons as it was just lobbed up in the air by Ziggy Gordon. I feel it's only a matter of time if Blacktown City can keep this sort of pressure up, but Olympic have provided a stern test of their attacking mettle. Six goals in the return fixture between these two earlier in the season. Doesn't look like we're going to get that glut of goals this afternoon. One or two could do. Abana Haliti starting to look towards his bench. Every time Joey Gibbs comes looking for the ball to feet, he seems to be harried and hassled by either Glassick or Gordon. This time it was judged to be an unfair challenge. Another attacking set piece for Blacktown. To double figures across free kicks and corners over the course of the first 57 minutes here at Landon Stadium. Cam Maniti provide the telling ball. Swinging away from Olympic defenders again. Struck a couple of bodies and then was just hoisted clear by Simmons. Donovan again is such a headache for defenders in those sorts of situations and wins out against the less experienced Bernie. Pufflet just not putting enough power on his pass, and Malia right at the toes of the Olympic coach. Shares a wry smile. Those two took on each other a couple of times in their A-League men's days as players. Malia was at Sydney FC and Haliti in his Newcastle Jets days. Malia becoming very familiar with that Olympic technical area. A couple of appeals for a foul throw. That's a decision you've seen given too often at this level. Certainly it generally has to be a bit more obvious than that. Two officials for a whistle to be blown. Lovely switch from Maniti, and Mali's got past Zoricic really for the first time today. A brilliant recovery from Zoricic. Still the ball fired over the heads of the Blacktown City players. Pufflet's touch found wanting. I think Labano Aliti might have seen enough. I think Michael Varkis is being readied. Fernandez, who a couple of times today, the flicks and tricks have worked. The sliding challenge certainly did that. And now Majors ventured forward from his central midfield role. And again, only inches away from Joey Gibbs. Not really cleared by Olympic. Much just hoisted it up for Fernandez, and then Gordon got something rather more telling on it. Olympic having trouble escaping their own half at the opening, in the opening 15 minutes of this second half. Major straight into March. A couple of touches that haven't really done his performance justice, and Choi snuck in behind now. It's ball in for Birdie! Blacktown finally get the breakthrough, and it's Tyron Birdie! Danny Choi's been dangerous all day down the left, and it's his ball for the opposite fullback. A terrific strike from TJ Birdie. He's making a handy habit of that, the right fullback. His third league goal of the year. And it was as solid a strike as you'd see from anyone on the pitch. Beats his man to the ball and gave Parsons no chance. Right on the hour mark, the hosts get their goal. Nothing less than they deserve for the start to the second half. Might have been a worry that they'd let the opportunity slip when they were so dominant early. That has not proven to be the case. Double change from Haliti in response. On comes Darcy Burgess and the informed Ten Kuol. Michael Varkas has found his way on as well, a triple sub. Jack Simmons, Ollie Pufflet, and George Antonis making way. Malia for Major, as Blacktown look to double their money. Choi drifted infield and was never really getting the bend he was looking for on that. So now the question comes for Olympic. They've had such a good run over the last couple of weeks. They face themselves, well, they find themselves facing a deficit for the first time in a little while.
He's replaced on number 14, Michael Varkas. Going off number 9, Oliver Pufflet. Replaced on number 10, Darcy Burgess.
Varkas has turned into a real attacking threat for Haliti off the bench this season. 5 goals from wide positions. Pacey player down the right. His first touch was one he might want back. Joey Gibbs has worked so hard up front today. Done a lot of the dirty work that goes unnoticed. Certainly wanted by his manager. Prendergast's just got to be careful. Ten Kuol has a similar sense of opportunism as the man Roy O'Donovan. He's now partnering up front, and he's running the Blacktown goalkeeper into a real muddle. And the instructions from Mark Crittenden, if you pick them up there, were very clear. Can Olympic pounce, not without the touch of Danny Choi. Hoisted over the hill alongside the grandstand on the far side. Nice touch over the top from Classic. Zoricic. Can Olympic find a strike back? The best period of the second half. Straight after the goal, Burgess. Didn't quite catch it with his instep. And Prendergast, happy to see it fizzle wide. But the changes have already made some impact. Talked about the influence of players and perhaps their improvement. See, with Labano Haliti, his changes have proved more and more telling over the course of this season.
2 games currently being played, 68 minutes gone. Sydney United 58-0, Sydney FC Academy 0, and Wollongong Wolves 1.
Depth that Olympic have managed to build off their bench with some of the youngsters coming through. A handy pickup in Ten Kuol, who's proved so versatile. Starting the season as a centre half and is now finding a happy home further up the pitch. Michael Varkas, the Koa Junior, signed with the club back in 2022, is really making a place for himself amongst the first team squad. Marley can't reel that one in before it touches the cross line, right on halfway. No shortage of compliments can be given to an experienced winger for Blacktown City today. Choi so strong, just holding off Burgess, who seemed to have front position, but then a sloppy touch from Fernandez. Much has space to run into down the right, just exploring it. Vargas inside him, links up well. Good piece of defending from Jackson Bandiera. That's why he's been such a handy pickup. Came into the season without really an out-and-out left back, although Lynch does more than a serviceable job out there for Blacktown City. Never really got around to replacing Jackson Bandiera after that 2022 Grand Final victory. He's looking over at Arnath Gobinath, the assistant, in disbelief. Felt the decision should have gone his way. Blacktown now will be hoping that that's not a moment they come back to rue. First attacking opportunity from a set piece for Olympic in the second half. Michael Hatton firing it in low. Didn't beat Maniti, who was at the front post. Major away. Blacktown had committed numbers back, and it's so funny how goals change games in interesting ways. You wondered if Blacktown might be buoyed by the opening goal. They've been forced onto the back foot, but they could break here. Smart ball over the top from Fernandez. Choi chopping back inside. Not too much support, he opts just to hold it up. Both benches getting more vocal now as well. So much on the line in the last 25 minutes or so. Choi growing in influence. Got the assist for the goal and has posed problems for the Olympic defence all afternoon. Malia to Bernie, the goal scorer. Fernandez. Looking up with Choi, and Michael Hatton's challenge was mistimed. The running power of Marty Fernandez proving the headache there. Attacks coming from all angles on Olympics back line. Nick O'Brien just over getting a word from Crittenden's assistant, Matty Bingley. NSL and A-League men's player himself. So Mitch Malia standing over this one. 4 in the wall for Chris Parsons. Danny Choi trying to block his view. He's looking to knuckle that one, Malia. He got the right action on it, but misdirected. Not bearing full fruit from the opportunity that they've given themselves. So still the 1 goal advantage. Tyron Bertie right on the hour mark after a fantastic start to this second half from Blacktown City. Been pushed a little further on the Blacktown, back into their own half, since. Darcy Burgess and Michael Varkas have been telling introductions. Of course, as I said, that Varkas really didn't get the purchase he was looking for on the cross whatsoever. Gordon following Fernandez out of defence and into midfield, and that's allowed some space for Danny Choi to explore in behind. Much trying to recover. He's got such good pace, Will Much, and did well to recover. It's done a lot of work to go through. Both those men down that side done no shortage of justice. And a nice moment here for Blacktown City. Adam Berry's had a long road to recovery here. He's going to get his first minutes back from injury in just a moment. I really have missed him. Shake of the hands from Crittenden and Bingley.
Substitution for Blacktown City going off. Number 17, Marty Fernandez.
First change. Marty Fernandez, and Berry gets a warm hand from the spectators. Great to see him back. Player who Blacktown have missed through the centre of their midfield. Such a cultured ball player. Been about 3 months out now. Great to see him back on the pitch today. Ben won't be too far away either, you'd think. Suffered a fractured nose up at Central Coast Mariners a few weeks ago. Just had a bit more depth back to their back line. Saw Major starting there on Wednesday night against Adelaide United. He didn't look out of place. Not the first time Crittenden's turned to his experienced number 7 in that role over the course of the season. Needs must. With him in midfield today, they've looked a tidy attacking outfit. Lovely touch from Malia. The ball in behind wasn't too bad either for Bernie, who's getting forward more and more often. Marty Fernandez was the man removed for Adam Berry, I should mention. Malia just looking to get it on the outside of his boot and then puts a bit of a rugby tackle on Sam McElhatton. 20 minutes for Olympic to find their equaliser. Chances have all been Blacktown City's in this second half. Parsons making a couple of saves. Couldn't keep out the low, hard drive from Tyrone Burney. He's got some defending to do here because Adam Parkhouse, who we haven't seen too much of down the left over the course of the match, is getting forward. McElhatton. Burgess. Zoricic for Gordon. Might think about lining up himself. Instead played it short, and that's allowed O'Donovan in. Say he only needs a moment. He's barely had a touch so far this afternoon, Roy O'Donovan. He was alive to the danger there. As Glassick hoists it over the sand on the far side. Danger brewing. Olympic will be looking for a couple more opportunities like that. One former Mariner to the other. Not quite able to find the goal that Olympic would so desperately love. Gibbs allowed to turn. Lining up for Malia, well gathered by Parsons. Now O'Donovan, who's drifted wide, not picked up. Blocked by Lynch, but it went straight back to Roy O'Donovan. Oh, that's a gorgeous ball for Tenqual! What a save by Prendergast. Spread himself. And that's a couple of big chances to Olympic in a matter of moments. Qual was trying to beat his goalkeeper, the goalkeeper at his near post there, but Prendergast was alive to it. Wearing the captain's armband, they needed him to bail them out there, Blacktown. Having dominated for such long portions of this second half. A lot of the first as well. The tide has turned. Michael Hutton from the resulting corner. It's Classic rushing towards the front post, and he was not too far away from getting ahead to it. Grant Lynch putting it behind. Olympic, such is their situation. Point would be nice, but 3 would be immense for them today, particularly given what's happening down at Adenza Park. Ball swung in near post. Bernie headed it straight into the ground, and Malia hoisted away. Still 0-0 at Adenza Park with 13 minutes left to play there. Still 1-1 at Wollongong with a little bit longer. We'll do it all again. Michael Hutton's directed these nicely over the past couple of minutes. He goes too deep this time because of the commentator. Sends that one well and truly over the heads of the Olympic players looking to attack that ball. So just over 15 minutes to play. Blacktown City sitting on the 1-goal lead given to them by Tyrone Burney. Right on 60 minutes. Leaty's changes have turned the tide towards Olympic. Blacktown City sensing the danger. Might be looking to bring on Lachlan Campbell, who's continuing his own return from injury. Saw minutes on Wednesday night against Adelaide United as well. Turned over by Choi. First time I can remember him doing that this afternoon. Pressure's just starting to get to some of the Blacktown players a little. That was better. 1-2 between Choi and Gibbs. Looking to find Malia, cut out by Zoricic. Berry. Solid first telling touch. Malia was clipped by Zoricic, and referee Craig Fisher was waiting to see if Malia could get anything away, then pulled it up, and now Grant Lynch is down. I'm not sure if this was the plan change for the Blacktown City staff, but it might be an enforced one now. Not the birthday present that Grant Lynch was looking for. Little clip of the heel. A couple of instructions handed out by both sets of coaching staffs. Team Qual offering a threat in behind that wasn't really present for Olympic over the opening stages of the game. And that looks like it's going to be the end of Grant Lynch's afternoon. He's a real warrior. Not too often you see him go down. Well, he's given a thumbs up to the bench as he makes his way over. So we'll wait and see what happens here. Might be changed regardless. So the change is going to happen. It's not going to be Lynch. It's going to be Mitch Malia. So it's a defensive change from Blacktown. Winger off for a centre half. So you feel that Hill partner Lynch at the back now. Nick O'Brien moving into midfield. Meniti whipping that one in. Remember, Blacktown playing with 10 for the moment. Still, they might get a chance. Glassick there to take some command. Blackhouse's foot was very high. Choice strike was true, but just off target. And Olympic understandably trying to keep the tempo high as they chase this equaliser.
Jacko, get ready. Jacko!
Varkey's drifting wide. Lynch has rejoined us. And his first intervention, is to bundle over Michael Varkis. And the flyer takes his spot. Changes flowing at the moment. Yanni DePizio, like-for-like change for Sam McElhatton. Through a lot of work screening their midfield, and young Liam Rippon's going to get a chance here this afternoon as well. Well, much this afternoon is over. Had a torrid time down that side of the pitch dealing with Danny Choi, but he did a pretty admirable job in all honesty. Ball in from Parkhouse. Booted clear by Bandiera. No nonsense clearance. Just over 10 minutes of regular time for Olympic to find their goal. Olympic look as though they've gone to a back three with Rippon coming on for March. The youngster starting much higher up the field. Gibbs, as he has been all day, playing with his back to goal and holding off defenders. A couple of half chances that haven't gone his way today, but his work in general play has been absolutely superb. Can't knock that one away from Gianni DePizio as that ball attempts to join us in the commentary box. Gibbs battling for it again. This time Zoricic got the telling touch. Nick O'Brien did well just to hold up his opposite number 10 Qual. Olympic have copped their fair share of late equalisers. They got that late winner against Rockdale a couple of weeks ago. managed to flip the narrative on that sort of thing over the last month or so. Ripon playing it into Campbell. Varkis slipping as he crossed. DiPizio picks it up. Parkhouse, who's drifted out to the right now. O'Donovan. Not allowed to turn. Gordon's forward. Reliving his days as a fullback. DiPizio's got plenty of space on the edge of the area. Just took a touch too long, perhaps. Still Gordon. Haliti wants a cross into the Blacktown City area. They just can't find the space for it, Olympic, and they turn it over. Berry's playing clear. That's the sort of area you used to see him in so regularly. Nice touch from TJ Burney. And he's continued his run forward. Berry. Major. Varkis has got plenty of pace. Has he got the wit to stay with Travis Major? Good firm challenge from Michael Varkis, who has worked so hard since coming on. He's covered plenty of ground. The game is really starting to open up now. Qual. Parkhouse for DiPizio. That's turned over. Another loose one from Olympic as they look to get forward. Can Ted Qual make something of it? He has, because he's won inside the free kick. To the frustration of his former teammate, Jackson Bandiera. Still plenty of time for Olympic to get something from this one. They've been the better team since going behind. Parkhouse deep. Ripon was the target, and Prendergast always been such a superb marshal of his own area. Gives your defence so much confidence when you're able to rely on your goalkeeper to come out and make big catches like that late in games. Lovely touch from Adam Berry, not known for his prowess in the air, but that was a beautifully judged little ball in behind for Danny Choi. He's got the beating of Zoricic, at least initially. And he did very well, Zach Zoricic, there. Gordon for DiPizio. Ripon's making the run in behind. Campbell saw it all the way. It's an awkward one for Prendergast, who dealt with it nicely. Major's providing a bit more of a physical battle for Michael Glassick, but he's still done beautifully there. Nick O'Brien's header away, only as far as Varkis. And his ball too far in front of Ten Qual. Two subs just on slightly different pages. Discussions in the Blacktown City technical area. Julian Rodriguez and Ruben Awaratife both standing at the ready. Blacktown might just like a second goal for some security here. Olympic really have pushed hard in the late stages of this game. Blacktown's solid defence, which they've relied upon even with all the injuries, standing up again today. Zoricic for Varkis, and it's a very inadvertent handball. And Blacktown City will take their time over getting this ball back into play. Had to get through a lot of defending in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Blacktown City have only got one more stoppage in this second half, so more changes that they're going to make are going to have to be together. Zoricic knocking that one. Where Donovan's now barking orders to the players behind him. nothing he would love more than to find the telling goal here. Olympic playing with plenty of energy, and Joey Gibbs, who looks absolutely spent. He's got through a lot of work. So that's like for like. Ruben Awara-Tife going on, and Julian Rodriguez takes the place of Danny Choi, whose assist might be the telling one. When all's written, it's his ball for Tyrone Burney. Right on the hour mark that got the goal that Blacktown so needed. Place in the finals. So another win closer. As long as they can hold on here for 5 more minutes. Major and Ripon. Ripon's got the physical size, which not too many do, over Travis Major. He also did well enough to win the free kick. Fisher just having a word to Ten Qual through midfield there. He and Adam Berry coming together. Space for Gianni DiPizio. Wasteful pass out wide. Knew the importance of this game for Olympic coming into it, sitting 4 points outside the top 6 at the start of the day. It's looking as though Sydney United might even be able to extend that. Still 0-0 at Adenza Park, still 1-1 down in Wollongong. Could be another little bite into the premiership margin at the end of round 27. It looks as though Olympic are going to slip into 5 points outside the top 6. Frustrating afternoon for them to this point. Could all be saved with a goal. Prendergast taking his time. Olympic finding a bit of fruit down that right-hand side. Ziggy Gordon's move out there. Ripon's header on. O'Donovan's lurking. Bernie's there to sweep up. Some panic creeping into the action of the players in these dying stages. None there from Gianni DiPizio. Finds Burgess. Rode the challenge and found Gordon. Classic back for the Scottish defender. Again, Blacktown's pressure was too much for Olympic. It's not moving it quickly enough to break down such a disciplined defence in the 23 minutes or so that they have been in the ascendancy. Gordon spearing it in towards Ripon. Nick O'Brien takes it off his toe. Nice touch from Awara-Tife. And Adam Berry's making the run in behind. Both of them wanted the football. Berry took it. This ball only found Glassick, but he didn't really deal with it. Rodriguez. Bandiera, Parkhouse having to retreat. Lovely switch for Berry. Suddenly found himself in space. Blacktown have got the ball, which is exactly what they need to do now. Just play it out. Major, second goal would be the cherry on top. Bernie, you got the goal. To Berry, his first game since returning from injury. Ill-advised ball forward from Nick O'Brien. Cut out. Qual. This took too many touches. Ten Qual. And Rodriguez can feed Awara-Tife, who couldn't sort his feet out. He was in. Not a dissimilar situation to what he scored from on Wednesday. Could it come back to bite Blacktown? Parkhouse swings it in towards Quall! That close to an Olympic equaliser. Superb ball from Adam Parkhouse, who was off balance and really played the ball blind. Put it right on the head of Ten Quall, who nodded it inches wide of Prendergast's net. That might have been the moment for Sydney Olympic. 4 minutes to be added on. Indicated to us by the fourth official, Ethan Zvagoulis. Zoricic needs to go. Towards O'Donovan. Worked off it by Nick O'Brien. Quall beat Lynch to the football and then knocked it into him to win a Sydney Olympic corner. It would be a heartbreaker for Blacktown City now, but not one that would be as important to them as the point it would give Sydney Olympic if they are able to find the goal. Burgess's ball. Prendergast wanted it. Major headed it. DePizio lining up. It's going to take something special through that crowd of bodies, and Awara Tife has no one between he and the goalkeeper. DePizio quick enough in the foot race. Blue bodies haven't got back quickly enough though, and Julian Rodriguez. Still going, Julian Rodriguez. Mark Crittenden just wanted that ball in the corner. Not the best bit of distribution, and it's an ill-timed mistake, if you like, from Parsons. Ziggy Gordon getting his body in the way to bail him out. Burgess. Gordon goes the Route 1 option. Might work out as well. O'Donovan's off the shoulder, but he's also offside. And he looked at it. Was that second touch that caught the Irishman out. Both teams have had the ball in the back of the net down that end of the pitch. Both have been ruled out by the flag of Aranath Gobinath. And just coming through from the ground announcer here, Will Godsis at Rockdale have got a late winner against Wollongong, so it will still be a 6-point lead for them at the top of the table. Handball from Rippon. What was the high foot of Liam Rippon that has given Blacktown City a pressure-relieving free kick. Olympic, who have shown so much character since going behind, but probably left their run too late. Oh, Maniti. Blacktown City not exactly managing their way to the victory here. Donovan going with his foot too high. It was a gorgeous touch. But Lachlan Campbell's head was too close for it to be legal. Again, they just go long and give it back. Oh, Crittenden can barely believe what he's seeing. Rippon falling on it. Still managed to make something of the challenge. Lynch won the free kick. Craig Fisher had a very good view, but he had a little while to think about it. The 3 points will be enough for Grant Lynch, but boy, has he battled for it on his 31st birthday. He's been in the wars this afternoon. It might be a clean sheet for him, though. Gingerly back to his feet, the Footaroo. And the instructions are clear from the technical area. It's not exactly been a textbook holding on display from Blacktown City, but they've lent on their defence. And it looks like it's going to take them 2 or 3 points. Oratife was there, lost out in the air. Campbell just thumps it out, although Rodriguez was trying to keep it in. Mike Crittenden's asking why the final whistle hasn't come. Oratife, heavy touch. One last roll of the dice. No. Olympic run out of time. They huffed and puffed, but couldn't blow the brick wall that is Blacktown City's defence down. They were the dominant force for the opening hour of this game. And the goal eventually came from their right fullback, TJ Burney, laid on for him by the irrepressible Danny Choi, who is really returning to some of his old form of the mid-2010s when he was one of the best players in the NPL in the country. Certainly he's re-establishing himself as that at the end of this season for Blacktown City, who move one win closer to securing their place in the top 6. What could have been for Sydney Olympic will be the question, who will end the day 5 points out of the top 6. Been a pleasure to bring you all the action on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel this afternoon. Hope you'll join us again for our 8 games next week from the NPL New South Wales men's. But it's Alex Molchanov signing off from Landon Stadium, where it's finished. Blacktown City 1, Sydney Olympic 0.